Hey everybody, this is Pete Bartolozzi welcoming you to another Nuggets, Gems, and Pearls from God's Word. Today's nugget is entitled, The Lord Tries the Hearts. And I'm going to read two verses, one from the Old Testament and one from the New. First of all, Proverbs chapter 17, verse 3, it says, As the finding pot for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the hearts or tries the hearts. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4, it says, But as we are allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but God who tries our hearts. Now, this is a subject that can by no means be taught thoroughly in just a 3 to 5 minute video. But in short, there are three primary ways in which God tries our hearts. First of all, in 1 Samuel chapter 26, verse 3, it tells us that the Lord rewards faithfulness. The Lord will try our hearts concerning faithfulness. Sometimes he leads us to do something that is not particularly our call and may even leave us there for an extended period of time to show that, find if we are faithful to stay where he puts us until he moves us on. He wants to prove our faithfulness so that when he does bring us into our place in particular, that we won't leave because of trials or persecution, or both. And then the second thing I want to bring out is Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 19. It states that if you be willing and obedient, we will eat the good of the land. Sometimes, God tests our willingness and obedience by seeing if we will do something that he knows we don't want to do. God was asking me once about returning to a church that he knew that I did not ever want to go back to. I struggled with it for about 3 days. And on that third day, I realized I was struggling with God. So I stopped in my tracks and said, God, if you want me to pastor that church again, I'll do it. And God said, I don't want you to go back there. I just wanted you to be willing. And then in Psalm chapter 7, the latter part of verse 9 states, But God establishes the just, for the righteous God tries the hearts and reigns. The Hebrew word translated reigns in this verse is a word that is figuratively used in reference to the emotions and affections. There are other verses that speak of God trying the hearts and minds, the emotions and affections being a part of the mind. This expresses that God tries our intentions, our purpose, and our drive. Are these in line with what is of God, or are they selfish? So God tries our hearts for the purpose of correction concerning intentions, our purpose, and our drive. Now, there's nothing wrong with desiring to better our lives, as long as we don't take advantage of or walk on people in the process to get us there. Now, I also want to correct some wrong thinking briefly here concerning this subject as well. In James chapter 1, verse 13, it says, Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempts he any man. I have heard Christians going through trials and say that God is testing them. Jesus stated in John 16:33 that the trials of life are of this world. 2 Corinthians 4:4 states that Satan is the god of this world. So the trials of life are of Satan, not of God. It is wrong to say what is of Satan. What Satan causes in our lives is God testing us. The trials in this life are to cause us ill and to get us to give up on faith in God. God is obviously not behind these trials. It dishonors our God to say that something is of him that Jesus clearly said was of Satan. Now, God has equipped us to deal with the trials of this life so that we can beat them. The faith he gives us is obviously of him, but the trials are not of him. They're simply of the perverted system that Satan set up at the fall. And I offer this as something to think about today. Be blessed.